Welcome to the Migrant Resource Centre, Northwest Region Incorporated Diversity and Disability YouTube channel. Your Life, Your Voice program, where self-advocates and professionals in the disability sector are interviewed. The Diversity and Disability Project would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we work and live and recognise their continued connection to land, water and community. We pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Nothing about us without us. We pay respects to all self-advocates who have worked hard over the years and are still working tirelessly for their rights, supporting others with disabilities and human rights for all. This channel is for people with disabilities who aspire to seek self-advocacy role models to inspire change in their everyday lives. Nothing about us without us. Choice and control are central themes. Every interview is as unique as you and I. And it has our fundamental universal human rights ethos of respect for persons with disabilities, having their views heard and acknowledged. After all, it's all in the name. Your life, your voice. Be the voice of change in your life. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Your Life, Your Voice. My name is Julie Scaveris and I have a wonderful session for you today. I have our beautiful group from the Parents Group. The Migrant Resource Centre is funded to run a Parents with Children with Disabilities group, and this group has been running for some time. And today we have some parents from this group, and we'll be interviewing these parents along with our interpreter, Ju. Hi. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us. So how about we hi. How about we start off with some questions? So how long have you been involved in the group?
Quý phụ huynh tham gia cái nhóm này được bao lâu rồi?
Tôi đã tham gia hơn 6 năm rồi. Cái nhóm này rất là vui, tôi rất thích cái nhóm.
And how long? Sorry.
I've been involved in this group for more than 6 years. This group is, I like this group very much.
Yes, so can I ask you, I know it has been practiced, but why do you like the group?
This group is very happy, a happy group. Yeah.
Yeah, so what guest speakers have been a part of this group?
Những diễn giả nào mà thường quý vị có trong cái nhóm này?
Giống như là anh Rick vừa nói về vấn đề mà tìm việc cho con với bên cái LIC cho NDS nói về vấn đề bên việc quyền lợi cho những phụ huynh có con bị khuyết tật, và đồng thời với Victoria họ giúp về vấn đề care cho những người mẹ có con bị khuyết tật.
We've had like Riz from education department talking about employment and pathway for young adults with disabilities, and we have Tracy, the advocate, and we have LAC talking about support coordination for NDIS, and we have Kara Victoria talking about for carer parents with children with disabilities.
And what topics did you like the best in this group?
Cái đề tài nào mà quý vị thích nhất trong cái nhóm này?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of topics that we have discussed here over the years, but definitely there's a lot, like the one from the Cares Victoria, the relaxation, meditation, checking with the doctor, looking after yourself, because you know how we care for our kids who have special needs, and then, but definitely, and most especially the last one that we have with Reese from the education department, because the topic that he talked about the employment and pathways. This is really very relevant to us for our kids who are going into employment. So this is actually one of the one that is for me personally that I really like best. It's very relevant, and I'm sure most of the parents here also connect with this topic. We really like this topic because it's very relevant. We all learn from these ones. It's got like a 3 sessions, over the 3 months, and we learned a lot from this from Reese, who is our guest speaker.
Yeah, so Reese is from the education department. He specialises in finding pathways for young adults with disabilities, and it's basically finding out their passions, and it's actually quite structured. So the way we look at employment and disability is a bit different to how the average person looks at employment, because sometimes people with different disabilities cannot articulate. They can't articulate their strengths. But they have strengths. So each session has been broken down, and then resources are given to the parents and the young adults, and then they can sort of like have time. They've got time to think about their strengths and what they need to be successful in employment. It's quite an intensive process that Reese and the young adults and the parents go through, because I think that looking at things differently is really important, and because it builds confidence in young people. So, and with the education department and Reese's help, they can find what they're passionate about. So, because sometimes when you're with young adults for a long time, you just, without even meaning to, you can put them in the box, yeah, the disability box, and so by having a guest speaker like Reese, it makes people think, it makes everyone think about what the young adults, can do, what they're passionate about, and to sometimes modify the employment setting, and going out and educating the sector, the employment sector, and they can have a whole different type of workforce, yeah. And I think that's good for diversity, and teaching employers that people with disabilities can contribute a lot with their passion. So, are you there, Do?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to give a brief summary to the parents about that? Just a brief summary.
Yeah. Thì khi anh Chris về từ Bộ Giáo dục đó là nói về những cách làm sao mà cho cái ngành nghề gì cho mấy em nó học, và qua những cái buổi như vậy đó thì mình học hỏi được là mình tìm hiểu coi cái năng khiếu gì mấy em nó có, và những cái điểm mạnh của mấy em là cái gì để mình chuẩn bị, và mình cần phát huy những cái năng khiếu gì để cho phù hợp với cái nghề đó. Thành ra là ảnh rất là những cái buổi này rất là hữu hiệu, tại vì mình biết được mình chuẩn bị cho con mình.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ju. Sorry to put you on the spot. I didn't see your face, but I saw the faces of the parents. But thank you very much for that. So, would you recommend the group to other parents?
Mấy cô có giới thiệu cái nhóm này cho những phụ huynh khác không?
Mình có giới thiệu cho nhiều phụ huynh khác bởi vì mình tới đây học hỏi được nhiều cái phương cách tốt hữu hiệu đến cho con của mình và rất là thực tế.
Yes, I would recommend it to other parents, and I have already done so. I found that when I came here, I learned strategies to help my children more effective and more practical.
Yeah, so, and I think the networking is very important for parents.
Giống như mình làm quen với nhau á, mình có tạo mối liên hệ với nhau cũng rất là quan trọng cho những phụ huynh ha. Yes.
And the reason why it's important is that you learn from each other.
Cái lý do mà tại sao nó quan trọng là tại vì mình học hỏi được lẫn nhau nữa.
Nó là chia sẻ.
Yeah, and we sharing as well. Yeah, correct.
And as carers, it must get very stressful if you're alone.
Là những người mà mình chăm sóc như vậy thì cũng căng thẳng lắm nếu mà mình làm một mình.
So by sharing information, it helps everyone.
Mình chia sẻ thông tin với nhau, mình giúp đỡ lẫn nhau hết.
Okay, we spoke about. I'm talking to you at the moment.
Yes.
We spoke about recently some of the recommendations that why this group is important. So the parents gave us some feedback, and we need to put it on forms too, about because there are many groups, especially in Vietnamese, and the parents said to you and I that even though they have the same speakers at other groups, they find that this group they get more information. Can you elaborate a bit about that?
Nghe nói đâu là mấy phụ huynh á nói là con cũng có rất nhiều mấy cái nhóm hội thảo nói chuyện về nhiều thông tin khác, mà cái nhóm này đó như là mấy cô nắm rõ thông tin hơn nè, hay như thế nào? Hay là cái thông tin này nó thực tế hơn, hay là nó khác với những cái nhóm khác như thế nào?
Cái suy nghĩ của mình á thì một cái nhóm nó có một nhóm
này hay gì?
Cái nhóm này thì mình được học hỏi về cái vấn đề mà hướng dẫn con. Rồi cái nhóm kia thì mình cũng được học hỏi về cái cách là mình chăm sóc cho mình. Là cái ý mình.
Yeah, in this group, I learned more about how to look after ourselves. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think that the style of presenting between the style that I have and the style that other people have in other groups, do you think that that's one of the reasons why this group you get more information? Because I try to include people in the conversation.
Cái cách mà tôi hướng dẫn cái nhóm này đó so với những nhóm khác đó thì cô thấy là tôi hướng dẫn, tôi giải thích, tôi động viên cái sự tham gia của mấy cô đó, thì vì như vậy mà quý cô có thể là nắm rõ thông tin hơn không?
Yeah.
Tôi có một cái bổ sung là tôi ở đây mấy cô làm việc rất là sâu sắc, giúp đỡ tận tình. Tôi có những cái rất là mấy cổ gọi thẳng lên cái nơi đó để mà giúp tôi giải quyết vấn đề liền tại chỗ. Nơi này rất là liền.
I have one experience to share that this place is very friendly and ready to help. When I had a problem, the person was ready to come along with me, to help me, to ring the place straight away to sort it out.
Yes, so the Biker Resource Centre is there for people who who don't speak English, and in the sector we called it COLD,
Ừ.
culturally and linguistically diverse.
Ừ.
So they're our main targets, and yes, so we also have courses for people who maybe their English is not so good. They still have to know how to read and write basic English, but what we do, we give them lots of support, and because with a bit of support, what we found is that people that can't speak English properly, they can still learn with our support, and they still get the certificate and go on to employment.
Yeah. Thì do đó là cái sự giúp đỡ là cái mục đích chính của cái nhóm MRC Migrant Resource Center này. Ngoài ra chúng tôi còn có những cái khóa học dành cho những người mà Anh văn không phải là ngôn ngữ chính của mình đó, thì người ta có sự hỗ trợ thêm trong lúc mà mình học đó. Nhưng cũng cần biết một số tiếng Anh cơ bản, nhưng mà cũng ở đây cũng có giúp đỡ cho mình học. Thì những cái người tham gia đó có thể học được cái khóa đó với cái sự giúp đỡ đó, rồi cuối cùng họ cũng có đạt được những cái chứng chỉ.
So, what other activities do you like about the group?
Có những cái sinh hoạt gì khác nữa trong nhóm này mà quý vị thích?
For me, now I would like going out excursion every term.
Yeah,
That's okay.
well, this is our star student speaking. She's always first. She's always first to come, and she told me today that she wasn't feeling well, but she came in just for me,
Yeah.
which is very, very humbling. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So what about Christmas breaks? Do you like our Christmas breakups?
Những cái gì đã qua đó, những cái sinh hoạt nào mà vừa qua đó mà mình thích nhất, chẳng hạn như Christmas mình hay đi ăn chung rồi với nhau, chơi với nhau đó, cái đó thích không?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
So can you tell our audience where we have gone?
Nói đi, mình đã đi đâu rồi, mà mình vẫn còn nghỉ Christmas đó, mình đi đâu rồi? Vừa rồi đó. Ali.
I'm
last year. Yeah, Vietnamese restaurant.
Yeah, Vietnamese restaurant. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what sort of food do we have? During the sessions? What sort of food do we have during our sessions?
Rồi mấy cái loại thức ăn gì mà trong lúc những cái buổi mình có vậy nè, mình ăn đồ ăn gì?
Những cái snack mì mà rất là ngon.
Light snack, yummy.
Yeah, and you know,
Vietnamese roll.
yeah,
Bánh mì. Paper roll. Yeah.
and we had sushi.
Donut. Yeah.
So I think that with food, it builds community, and I think that food is a very important factor in running groups, so I would encourage our organisation to and thank them for providing us with funding for the food for our clients. So it's very helpful to have a very fun environment.
Dạ, thì thức ăn nó tạo nên một cái sự kết nối với nhau, cho nên là mình cũng muốn cảm ơn MRC đã cung cấp những cái món ăn này nha. Rồi khi mình ăn uống, mình nói chuyện với nhau, nó cũng tạo một cái không khí rất là vui vẻ với nhau. Correct.
So just to fill in some gaps that the parents may have forgotten because this group started again after lockdown in April 2022, because before that we had the COVID-19 lockdown. So we had a session with the Disability Liaison Officer from the Department of Health and Ethnic Community Council of Victoria on child immunisations. So with Reece Gaines from the Education Department, we discussed the PACT system, which is purposeful, actionable, continuous and trackable. That's the acronym of PACT. So, yeah, and in June we had the MRC NDIS support coordinator. We also had another support coordinator. What's that organisation do?
Gateway Services.
East-West Services. And in September we're going to have the Centrelink. I hope to have Centrelink for our next session. They're going to talk about the rights for young people to work after the age of 15 and 9 months. In October we have another presentation for the support coordinator, and I was just contacted by my manager to see if the parents are interested in having a guest speaker on, I think it was about violence and abuse and how to prevent violence and abuse. So I forgot to ask the participants, would you like me to organise that for you on having a session on how to prevent violence and abuse? What do you think?
Cái tới cũng quên hỏi nếu mà mình có muốn nói chuyện về cái đề tài và bạo hành với ức hiếp không? Violence với abuse. Muốn nghe về cái đó không? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll organise that for our last session in November. So that brings us to the end of this interview. I'd like to thank our parent group for participating in our YouTube project. Special thanks to everyone and our resident interpreter, Ju Vu, I think it is. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. So for all those out in YouTube land, if you'd like to join our group, just give the Migrant Resource Centre a call. I don't have the number at the moment, but if you can Google Migrant Resource Centre in St Albans and make an inquiry to join this wonderful group where you will get lots of information, support and lots of food. So I'll just do the last section of this program, and for now we'll say goodbye. Bye. So if you can stay quiet for a few seconds, for a minute, that'll be good.
Catch us on Your Life, Your Voice YouTube channel live every Monday fortnight or on demand.
We would like your comments and suggestions on topics that you would like us to explore. Leave your comments on YouTube comments section.
Please feel free to email us on dndyourlifeyourvoice@gmail.com or contact us via the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Inc. Phone number 1300 676 044. 1300 676 044.
Diversity and Disability is a project of the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Incorporated, and would like to thank the management for funding this project, especially living through the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has been difficult for people with disabilities living in isolation.